Hello and welcome to AFRICUNIA Television News Update, reaching from the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, Nigeria. I am Deborah Ezeh. Now looking into the African scene today, we begin from Nigeria, where the presidency yesterday declared that President Muhammadu Buhari is ready to step down at the expiration of his tenure on May 29, 2023, in reaction to the call by senior advocate of Nigeria and elder statesman Chief Robert Clark for tenure extension. Specifically, Clark had called for tenure extension for President Buhari to enable for more time to tackle the nation's myriad of problems before elections can be smoothly held. Reacting, however, in a statement, Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity Garba Shehu said Chief Clark, a very well-respected elder, may be sincere in his wish for the president to extend his term by 6 months. We wish to categorically restate that the president will step down on May 29th after serving 2 terms as per the Constitution. He shall in turn hand the privilege of serving the people of Nigeria to whomever they choose through free, fair and credible elections. Meanwhile, the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria has cautioned Clark against destabilizing the country. The group made a call in a statement issued by its national coordinator, Emmanuel Onwubiko, in Abuja. In his reaction, they urged Nigerians to oppose Buhari's subterranean schemes to extend his presidency by using surrogates who would flood the media with unsustainable and irrational requests for a 3rd term for the president. Still in Nigeria, the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, has called on federal government to immediately resolve all lingering issues with Academic Staff Union of University, ASUU, or be ready for industrial action. The union, in a statement yesterday signed by its president, Laleye, argued the government has no excuse whatsoever to further keep innocent students and their lecturers at home. The union said it was worried that a government that could raise money to feed children who were at home during the heat of COVID-19 could not repeat a similar feature in the education sector. TUC asked Minister of Labour, Dr. Chris Ngige, and Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, to quit if they are unable to resolve the issues. This came as colleges of education in the country gave a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government over lingering industrial disagreements. Now, rising from a National Executive Council meeting, the Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union berated government for being unfair, despite the union's entreaties. Also, the Joint Action Committee, JAC, of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institution, NASU, and the Senior Staff of Nigerian University, SANU, have presented a new payment platform to the federal government, with which they hope to be paid. Moving on, the Zimbabwean government has come under fire since Saturday for imposing a freeze on bank lending. Stakeholders in the business sector on Monday warned that the move will encourage the development of a shadow banking system and jeopardize the country's economic recovery. President Emerson on Saturday ordered banks to suspend their lending activities as part of a plan to revive a country overwhelmed by soaring inflation driven by the war in Ukraine and soaring commodity prices. The freezing of bank credits, according to the executive, aims to put a stop to speculations against the Zimbabwean currency, which has been trading in recent days on the parallel market at nearly 400 Zimbabwean dollar for $1, more than double its official rate. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for its part, blasted the executive decision in a statement, which legitimizes a power banking system at auspicious rates. The country's main banks initiated talks with the central bank on Monday. Shepard Gandu, a union leader in the banking sector, stressed during these discussions credit is a primary source of income for a bank. Still on the African scene, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) on Tuesday granted a €432 million loan to Mozambique, the first since it withdrew 6 years ago at the time of the hidden debt scandal involving the government. The outline of the deal was announced in late March. The IMF, in a statement, reads, "This provision will support the economic recovery and the measures put in place to reduce public debt and financial vulnerabilities. This program supports the government's ambition reform plan," it added. Deprived of international financing, Mozambique, a former Portuguese colony, defaulted on its debt and its currency. The mythical collapsed, causing the most serious financial crisis since its independence in 1975. Away from the African scene onto the foreign scene, Russia's invasion of Ukraine is supercharging food and fuel prices and stoking a cost of living crisis across the globe. However, the worst effects are yet to kick in as rising inflation and government cutbacks bite households harder. We see a rise in civil unrest as inevitable across key emerging economies that will have likely knock-on impacts for political stability and investor confidence. Middle-income economies struggling with the public purse will be most at risk. According to the Civil Unrest Index projection, 10 of these countries, including Brazil, Egypt, Tunisia, Pakistan, and Senegal, are in line to take the hardest hit over the next 6 months. Some countries risk falling into a vicious cycle whereby worsening governance and social indicators make them ESG investments pariahs, impeding the inflow needed to improve economic performance and address societal needs. 3/4 of nations expected to be at risk or extreme risk of civil unrest by the fourth quarter of 2022, where middle-income countries is defined by the World Bank. And now we head to China, where military said on Wednesday that it had monitored and warned a U.S. warship that sailed through the sensitive Taiwan Strait, a mission that happened shortly after China carried out drills near the island. The U.S. Navy 7th Fleet said the guided missile cruiser USS Port Royal conducted a routine Taiwan Strait transit through international waters in accordance with international law on Tuesday, the second such mission in 2 weeks. The United States has said or has been carrying out such voyage about once a month, angering China, which views them as a sign of support for Taiwan, the democratically governed island that Beijing views as Chinese territory. The People's Liberation Army Eastern Theater Command said in a statement that its forces had monitored the ship throughout and warned it. Taiwan's defense ministry said the U.S. ship sailed north through the strait and that the situation in the waterway was as normal. Still on the foreign scene, flows of Russian gas to Europe through a key transit point in Ukraine dried up on Wednesday, while Kyiv claimed battlefield gains over invading Russian forces, including the recapture of 4 villages around the second city of Kyiv. Mounting Western sanctions is seeking to ban or phase out the use of Russian energy, a major source of funds for Putin's war efforts and vulnerability for Europe, especially Germany. Blaming the interference of Russian occupying forces for the suspension, Ukraine's gas operator said on Tuesday it would redirect gas from the Soaring transit point, which is an area occupied by Russian forces, to another in a Ukraine-controlled area. We now head to the sports scene, where the European Champions League will see an increase of 4 teams to 36, and the present group stage replaced by 1 single league from the 2024 to 2025 season. The revamp of European football's Premier Club competition will see each team play 8 league games, 4 home and 4 away, as opposed to 6 in the group stage. The top 8 sides in the league will qualify automatically for the knockout stage, while the team finishing in 9th to 24th place will compete in a 2-legged playoff to secure their path to the last 16 of the competition. 12 of Europe's biggest clubs signed up to the proposed new competition last April, but it collapsed within days following a first backlash from their own players and fans, as well as government and football governing bodies. UEFA has now stepped back after consulting with various parties, including supporters, from having 10 league matches and locating 2 of the 4 new places to teams based on club coefficient. And finally, Chelsea defender Rudiger has reached an agreement with Real Madrid to join the Spanish champion on a free transfer in the summer. Rudiger will officially join Real on July 1st on a 4-year deal understood to be worth €400,000, that is £342,000 per week. The Germany international Chelsea contract expires at the end of the season, and Blues boss Thomas Tuchel revealed last month the defenders decided to reject a new deal at Stamford Bridge. A number of clubs across Europe, including the Premier League, were interested in Rudiger. However, Real were the first club to formally express an interest in signing him this summer, and the 29-year-old is thought to be flattered and impressed by Real's pursuit. Rudiger's representatives held talks with Barcelona earlier this season, while he had also been linked with Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus. And that concludes the news updates on AFRICUNIA television today. Do follow all our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, I am Deborah Ezeh. Bye for now.